it mean to speak gibberish? Or to lollygag? Are you a lackadaisical person? Have you ever been bamboozled? Today we will learn some strange, weird English words that you will actually believe are words in English, but they are actual words that most adult Americans in America probably know and use at least some of the time. So if you want to impress your friends with your knowledge of these unusual sounding words, keep watching. Our first word is gibberish. Gibberish. Gibberish, yes, I know it's a very fun word to say, but also a very useful one that you can probably relate to. You might know people that speak gibberish. Okay, so gibberish is confusing and meaningless speech. So babies quite literally speak gibberish. The words they try to say don't mean anything, but you could even say someone is speaking gibberish if they are saying words, but it just doesn't make any sense to you. Maybe they are speaking like this, or maybe they are drunk and just have no idea what they are talking about. They are just saying a bunch of gibberish. Our next word is bamboozle. Bamboozle? Bamboozle. To bamboozle is to trick someone or try to confuse someone. So it is a verb, right? So if I say I was bamboozled, it means I was tricked. So for example, a salesperson might try to bamboozle customers. They might say that this pleather jacket is made of genuine material to make you think he meant genuine leather, which it is not. So you can then purchase that jacket for more than it's worth, right? You were bamboozled. Can you think of a situation when a salesperson bamboozled you or someone you know? Maybe you were bamboozled by a magician. Their job is to bamboozle people. And then we have buffoon. A buffoon. What's a buffoon? So I find this word to be very funny, but it is not a nice word to call someone. It is not nice to call someone a buffoon. A buffoon is a silly, stupid, or kind of clownish person. So perhaps you could say that Mr. Bean here could be described as a buffoon. He'd do a lot of silly things, and he just wasn't very bright. Then we have sabotage. Sabotage. So sabotage is to cause something to fail or not work properly, usually on purpose because you do not want it to work for some reason, but it's not always on purpose. So I could say the rain sabotaged my plans of having a nice picnic. The rain caused my plans to fail. So in this case, it wasn't done on purpose. So let me give you an example of someone sabotaging something on purpose. Let's say I really don't want to go to school tomorrow, and I'm a very troubled child, right? I might put sugar in my parents' gas tank or poke a hole in the tire, right? Then I sabotaged my parents' car, so I did it on purpose. Then we have to lollygag. Lollygag. So to lollygag is to spend one's time doing things that aren't important or serious. In other words, it is to waste time. Sometimes I didn't feel like doing work in class at school, so I would lollygag, right? I would sharpen pencils that didn't need to be sharpened. I'd wander the halls. I'd stop by my friends' classrooms. I would just lollygag, guys. Some of you might be adults and lollygag at work. That's also a thing. But lollygagging is simply wasting time. Next up, Lackadaisical. 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 If you are a lackadaisical person, or if you are lackadaisical about something, you are just not very interested in something or excited about something. You are maybe bored or indifferent towards that thing, or perhaps you are just lackadaisical in general. Nothing really excites you or interests you. I know people like that. It's frustrating. You might have a coworker like this. You can just tell that this coworker does not take their job seriously because they do everything slow and they might show no interest in the work you all are doing. Or maybe your sports teammate is lackadaisical. He's slow. He isn't concerned about winning. He's lazy. He doesn't hustle. It's also kind of common to hear sports announcers use this word to describe a football player or maybe a basketball player if they look like they are being lazy or careless. Next, smithereens. 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 Smithereens are tiny broken pieces of something, usually something that was once a hard, solid object, like a mirror or a car or a house. These things, when broken, can be called smithereens. We almost exclusively use smithereens in phrases with a verb like smash or break or blow up, right? So we could say smash to smithereens, crush to smithereens, and this implies that something is being broken into little pieces. So maybe you dropped your antique china and it was smashed to smithereens, or lightning struck the window and broke it into smithereens. And then we have, lastly, rigamarole. Rigamarole. A rigamarole is a long and annoying process, or long, annoying, confusing speech. So many people hate the rigamarole of going through customs at the airport, or the rigamarole of applying for residency in a different country. Maybe that is something that you have gone through. It was just a long process with many different confusing steps. That was the case for me when I moved to China. It was just a rigamarole. Or if you want to buy a house, you have to go through the rigmarole of signing a bunch of legal documents. So these types of processes would be called rigmaroles. That is the end of today's lesson on unusual sounding English words. If you found this lesson useful, if you found it interesting, if you just found it entertaining, make sure to give me a like. Subscribe to this channel if you'd like more lessons like this, more vocabulary lessons, and until next time, English learners.